but it is good to see cops taking their time out of their own day, their own schedule to come and invest in themselves, even though their department may not be investing in them.
Yeah. And that's the hard part. One, cops have egos. I've noticed a lot of cops, they just don't like being dominated. And let's face it, if you're at any reputable jiu-jitsu place, you're dominated. Like the whole first 6 months at least. It's
Mhm.
just a nonstop beat down.
Well, unfortunately, that's the thing that keeps cops away, and the thing that will improve cops the most. It's a double-edged sword, right? Because
Right.
a lot of cops, I had good friends of mine, in shape dudes, like by all
Humbled.
means, looking at them in uniform, they're sharp, they look good. They had a presence about them because, well, they bench,
Yeah.
285 for, whatever, they're strong, but
Your,
they
your
would
joints
come
aren't.
they would come and yeah, you learn quickly that your knees only go in one direction, don't they?
Yep.
It's like, um, so they get humbled really, really quick, and that's hard to take because, and part of it is the way that is drilled into us, right? Fight, win, go home. Like
Yeah.
you got to be the police. You know, you got to you got to win. That's the mentality you have to have, which is true, which is great. But if you can't back that up, then it can be a dangerous place to be physically. So you get humbled like that, and it messes with your head because you're like, wait a second, I'm supposed to be the guy that could take this guy to jail, and I couldn't take this 150-pound kid to jail if I wanted to. And I mean, people think it's bragging, or people think it's like, okay, whatever. I'm like, listen, man, I've been in police academies where 6 people cannot put me in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not because I'm magical. I'm not I'm not even that good.
Yeah. You have basic
There's
principles.
a lot people way better than me
Yeah.
that might break the law.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a real, oh, I'll just shoot him. Okay, well, yeah, but that's not how life works. That's not how the
Right.
law works. Like,
Yeah. Good luck
and
getting to your gun sometimes too. You know?
or getting to your gun, or relying on your taser and other secondary weapons that won't have an impact on somebody. So it's like, there's a lot of that kind of going around. And man, I
Yeah.
I, I could talk about, I could sing the praises of of grappling training for a while.
Yeah.
And
But
every time I talk about it, there's always the dissenting voices, but those
yeah.
dissenting voices also typically never show up.
Yeah. I've made the argument, and people have gone against me on this, but I've made the argument that if you have use of force issues, that is single-handedly the one thing that will lower your use of force issues at your department. And people are like, well, that don't make any fight. You're going to teach them to fight, and that's going to lower use of force. Yeah, absolutely. It will absolutely lower it because they're going to be able to handle things and do things that don't involve a use of force in a traditional sense. They're going to be able to control an opponent versus having to fight an opponent. Where if you don't do this stuff, it's hard to explain. I'm not the most articulate person, but you box somebody, that's great. You got boxing training. But what do you always have when you do boxing training? Wrapped hands and boxing gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever punched somebody? Have you
Yeah.
ever punched the ground on accident?
Yeah. Then there's a miss, I'm not using the right word. Uh, Misunderstanding, I guess, is one part, but poor impression, bad impression that, oh, well, you don't want to be on the ground. No,
Oh God, no, I
I
don't
don't
want
want
to.
to be, but guess what? And what I was like, every use of force as a police officer is a ground use of force. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, anytime that you are going to put someone in handcuffs that doesn't want to go into handcuffs, you will be on the ground. That ground may be vertical, called a wall. It may be a car. It may,
Yeah,
it, but it's going to be a surface. It's going to be the ground,
yeah,
and you have to learn to navigate that. And not, I did this statistic one time before, but it's like 90% of all use of forces on resisting subjects,
yeah,
right? It's going to be a ground entanglement. So
yeah.
I don't. No, of course not. I also don't want to have to fight somebody into handcuffs, but that's not reality. I'm going to have to do that at some point. And so, am
Mm-hmm.
I going to be capable of that? And will I want to always increase my capability in that? Or do I want to be lackadaisical there? Do I want to be complacent there? You know, the choice is yours. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Every non-compliant arrest goes to the ground. I
correct,
mean, it does. You're not handcuffing somebody that's standing up anymore.
right.
Like they go to the ground. So if they are not complying, they're going to the ground.
And if someone
Um,
wants to get in a boxing stance and wants to slug it out, okay, do I want to break my hand? Do I want
no,
to do I want to trade blows with somebody, or do I
no,
want to take it to the ground at that point to be in more control? Well, the answer is sort of
yeah. You get in a
opposite.
boxing stance, like if I look and I'm like, all right, this guy's been trained, I'm
Yeah,
tasing you.
right.
I'm not trying to go grapple with somebody that's trained, or get in there. Now, I'm hoping I'm not alone. Sometimes you are. So I want distance. Time and distance are my friend. But once I commit to going hands on, then yes, I'm going to take your ass down to the ground, and you're going to be humbled.